Hey friends, today we are looking at Emmy's results from her poll that she did a while ago. I think it was a while ago, maybe a year ago or so, of people's top 20 favorite books or people's favorite books. The top 20 of people's favorite books. Anyway, you'll see. And I think some of them will surprise you. Some of them surprised me. I was like, what are you guys thinking? What books are you reading? Do you need help? But some of them make a lot of sense. So let's dive on in and see what she has to say.
All right, number 20 is The Bell Jar.
Okay.
It is The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. I don't know.
I can see that. I'll be transparent. I have not ever finished reading this. I read like 25% and I decided that I was not in the correct mind space to read this. If you've read it before, tell me, did it completely destroy and depress you? Because this the 20% that I read did that to me. So I think I need to read it in the summer when I'm like happier and then it can bring me down because I was down already when I tried to read it and not happening.
Number 19 is Norwegian Wood by Haruki Murakami. This one is a little bit surprising to me, honestly. This one, I believe, also has 11 votes. Let me just double check. Yes, 11 people also listed this as their favorite book of all time, Norwegian Wood. This one I've also read in high school.
I'm really surprised that you read that in high school. No, okay, you just said you read it in high school. You don't mean that it was like high school reading, because I was thinking like if it was required reading in your high school, that would be a lot. I have not read it. So who am I to talk? But uh
most of all time is I don't have sufficient data to compute this one, I guess. No, it's Call Me by Your Name by Andre Osman. I just don't have it. I'm really sorry. So
okay, I haven't read this and I have no desire to read it. I know it resonates with a lot of people. Am I surprised that this is somebody's favorite book? At first, I was going to say yes, but no, I'm not, even though I haven't read it. Again, I don't know. But knowing what I know about it, I'm not surprised that some people chose it as their favorite book. Hmm. I'm hoping these selections get better. I'm a little underwhelmed so far.
The Night Circus by Aaron Morgenstern. So this one I also read in high school. Definitely a trend here. I need to read.
Who chose this as your favorite book? I have read it. Literally don't remember much about it other than being bleh. Who's guys, where are the actual good books?
Okay, well, it's The Great Gatsby by Scott
Finally.
This one I completely.
Finally a good book. Thank you guys. The Great Gatsby is my favorite book of all time. So thank you. It should be way higher on this list, but thank you whoever voted. I don't know why. Why am I thanking you? I guess kudos to whoever voted for having really good taste. Listen, guys, The Great Gatsby is about everything. It is the great American novel, and I dare you to try to change my mind. It is about the American dream, but so much more. Like, what is the American dream? You might think that it's like having the perfect house and the picket fence and the 2.5 kids, and maybe at first that's what you're going to think when you start reading Gatsby, but then you realize that's not actually what the American dream is about. And this book is about trying to relive your past. Hint, you can't. This book is about things that rich people get away with that poor people don't. This book is about delusion. This book is about what happens when you stand by. This book is about femininity. This book is about so much. This book is about being a shadow of yourself. Like, I don't know how F. Scott Fitzgerald packed all of these themes into one small book, because this novel really isn't that long. But if you have not read it since, say, high school, I know I require my high school students to read it again as an adult, because we're smarter now. Not just that, we've gone through more life stuff. Like, this book will resonate with you so much more as an adult than it does as a kid or a teen. Read it again. Did I say it's my all-time favorite book? Because it's my all-time favorite book.
Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier.
Yeah. Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier is in my top 10 at least of favorite books. I love this book. It is Gothic. And when I say Gothic, if you don't know what Gothic literature is, I'm probably going to do a video to explain, because sometimes I think people think like dressing in black, wearing black lipstick, and that's Gothic. That's not what Gothic is. But it is a slow burn. And the fact that the narrator, this main character, I think we only hear her name once in the novel, if that. Oh, I love that. Anyway, that's not what it's about. But this younger girl falls in love. I hate to say in love, but she marries this older man who she knows very little about, except that he's wealthy and he had a wife named Rebecca. We don't really know what happened to Rebecca, and people loved Rebecca. So it's just a really good. It is slow at times, but the writing is beautiful, and I've read several of du Maurier's works, and I love them all. Read it.
This is 14 people's favorite book from those I asked. I just want to ask, are you okay? If this is your favorite book, are you okay? Because that book is Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky. Crime and Punishment is your favorite book.
I don't think I've ever gotten all the way through it. It is. It's a look at me. I'm trying to say it's a good book. If it's your thing, it's your thing.
Wow, that's incredible. This one also surprised me, honestly, because it's 1984 by George Orwell. Once again, a book I haven't read. I don't
1984. Yes. How have you not read that? First of all, that's okay. Not judging. 1984 is one of my favorite books. Honestly, it is what sealed my love for literature. Like Gatsby was the gateway drug, and then there was 1984. And I read this several times in high school. Like I could not get enough. I wanted more 1984. This book's ability to accurately pinpoint what is going on in our world today, even though it was written by Orwell in, I should know this as an English teacher, the 40s, 50s. It was written by Orwell a long time ago. And but everything that has happened, even like there's a part in 1984 where it says all the books will be rewritten. And if you know what's going on with Roald Dahl's books, guys, everything that Orwell says happens. Just give it time if it hasn't already happened. Like he was a genius. Genius. I can see definitely why this would be somebody's favorite book.
It's Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. Definitely have a
Okay.
big jump at this point because Little Women is 18 people's favorite book. 18 different people.
Okay. I don't really have much to say about that. It's a good book. It's a feel good book. It does have a lot of themes in it that are relevant and transcend time. Yeah. Okay. Just okay.
Are now in the top 10, and this is 19 people's favorite book, and it is The Song of Achilles. It's The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller.
Okay. I have not read it. I've started it. I don't like Greek mythology. And if I'm not mistaken, it's a retelling, correct? I think I literally just got 2 pages in. But I've heard great things about it. I've heard wonderful things about the her writing style and how it's accessible to people who don't even care for necessarily that genre of mythology. So I probably should read it because yeah, I mean, I should. I should put on my big girl pants and do it. Hey, friends. Okay, so I hope you're enjoying this reaction and my thoughts on these books. If you are and you like this type of content, especially from just like a regular, ordinary, middle aged, did I call myself middle aged? Maybe. Is 36 middle aged? Please lie to me and say it's not. English teacher, I would love it if you would consider subscribing because that helps me out so much. I'm trying to grow this channel, trying to get it monetized. I'm not going to lie. I would like some money, right? So if you would smash that subscribe button, that would help me out like tremendously.
I'm quite surprised actually because, well, you'll see later, but it's Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte.
Okay. Yeah, Jane Eyre is one of my favorites of all time. It's another Gothic literature, piece of Gothic literature with a romance element, but there's so much more to that. Charlotte Bronte's writing is delicious. It's a slow burn. She really weaves in so many ideas, and the setting is very prevalent, as it is with most pieces of Gothic literature. And to be honest, I was supposed to read this in the 8th grade in a part of my like advanced reading class, and I didn't. I watched the movie. And if you're gonna watch the movie, pick the Orson Welles one from like a long time ago, because just trust me. But when I was became an adult, probably in my mid 20s, I started rereading Jane Eyre almost every single year. It is my comfort read. So if I need to pick something up because I don't have anything on my shelf to read, or I'm just kind of, I pick up Jane Eyre. I think everybody has, like all avid readers have something like that, and Jane Eyre is mine.
Okay. Coming in at number 8. What is number 8? This is also 25 people's favorite book. It's The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak.
So I don't know if I would put it on my favorites, but it is good. Like if I had to have my students read a piece of literature that wasn't Night by Elie Wiesel, like that's what I would have them read. But if I had to pick another piece of literature for set in the Holocaust, I think this one would be the one that I would choose. It just gives the feelings that I mean, we can't even come close to understanding. Yeah, it's good.
All right, number 7. It's Frankenstein. It's Frankenstein by Mary Shelley.
Hey, guess what Frankenstein is? It's a piece of Gothic literature. Yeah. Okay, it seems like a lot of people love Gothic lit, and there's a reason why. Frankenstein, again, was one of those books that I was supposed to read in high school and did not. I did not read it until much later, um, probably in the last couple of years. And it's so good. Like, I think as a kid, I went into it expecting it to be just about monsters, not even realizing that Frankenstein wasn't the monster's name. In case you didn't know that, Frankenstein is not the monster's name. The monster is just called the monster. Anyway, I digress. It's beautiful. Mary Shelley, chef's kiss. Love it.
Number 6. This one I'm not surprised about, but it's definitely not a book that would be kind of on my favorite shelf, which I think is really interesting, and why like this list was so interesting as well. But it is The Secret History by Donna Tartt.
I have not read this. I know the hype. The hype is there. Everybody hyped it up. I haven't read it. Should I read it? Comment below. Let me know. If you liked it, tell me why. If you didn't, tell me why. Convince me one way or the other, because I'm still kind of iffy on it.
A little bit surprising. We're now down to number 5, and this book is 30 people's favorite book of all time, apparently. This is also, I think, the last one on this list that I haven't read, but it is on my shelf, clearly. And I don't know, do you have any guesses? Like, I just wasn't really expecting it. I don't know, here it is. It's A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. This is the book that everyone says just hurts.
Yeah, I haven't read it because of what she just said. Everybody says that it is devastating. And I just sometimes, I can't do real life devastating. I can do Gothic devastating because I know what I'm getting into. I mean, with this, I would know what I was getting into, but I don't know. For some reason, that Gothic setting helps there be a barrier in my mind between like real and fiction. And does it bother you guys that I use my hands all the time? Like, should I tie them down? Anyway, so I don't think I'm going to do this one because I don't want to be devastated. Maybe there will become a time in my life where I want to cry when I read. Right now, it's not that time.
Number 3 has 41 votes for people's favorite book of all time. Harry Potter. Harry Potter. This is a book that I have.
Okay. Did you see my face? I was kind of shocked, but it shouldn't be shocked. I shouldn't be shocked by this because you know how Jane Eyre is my like comfort zone. I think a lot of people, Harry Potter is their comfort book. I know that the series first came out when I was a teenager. Yes, it's that old, and yes, I'm that old. And it really propelled people into reading. And so I think when we associate ourselves with a certain like milestone book, we just want to keep going back to it, and it becomes our comfort. It becomes that warm cup of tea or that steaming hot broth of chicken soup. And I think that's what Harry Potter might be for a lot of people. So I'm not surprised.
All right, number 2. Number 2 at 43 people this time voted for this.
Okay.
It's Pride and Prejudice.
Okay.
Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen is 43 people's favorite book.
I'm not surprised. But if you know me, you know I don't like Jane Austen. It's not that I don't like Jane Austen, but it's just that I don't like Jane Austen. Sorry.
51 people have listed this as their favorite book.
Okay,
51.
I'm ready.
Which is quite surprising. I understand because this book is on my favorite shelf.
Okay.
Okay, without further ado, let's just do it. Can you give me a drum roll? It's a picture of Dorian Gray.
A picture of Dorian Gray, Mr. Oscar Wilde. First of all, if you have not read The Importance of Being Earnest, read it. It is a hoot. And if you haven't seen the movie with, who was in it? Colin Firth? Is that right? And somebody else, I can't remember. It was like famous people. It's hilarious. And so then read The Picture of Dorian Gray and you see Oscar Wilde's huge breadth of just amazingness. This was very intriguing to me when I first started, when I picked it up, and I had to get through a little bit of, sometimes I just want like mind-numbing reading, and this isn't it. Okay, but it's not super difficult to get through either. Just read it if you want to read a good classic that is not inaccessible. This one is pretty accessible. I would say that it's in my top 10 as well. I need to reread it. In fact, I haven't read it in many, many years. I say many, many years, maybe 5 years. So I'm glad that I watched this because then it helped motivate me to read something new. Not like I'm not already reading something new every single week. I don't know why I said that, but you know what I mean. Okay, so that was the top 20 of people's favorite books. Were you surprised? What would your favorite book be? If like you had to pick just one, you found out mine was The Great Gatsby, and it has been for years, but I can see it changing. I know it has over the past few years. So what is your current favorite book? And if you changed it, has it changed from the past few years? Let me know. And if you liked this content, Make sure that you check out the videos below. There's a lot of other stuff like this. I just recently did a video where I reacted to Reader's Digest top 100 books that you should read before you die. And that list was insane. So go ahead and click over here to watch that, and I will check y'all later. Bye.